Dota 2 is the better MOBA. Yeah, I said it. And I know half of you just opened the comment section to tell me I'm wrong. The other half are already agreeing and preparing for war. This debate has been going on for over a decade, and somehow it never gets old. But here's the thing, I'm not here to trash League of Legends. I'm not here to start a flame war. I'm here to actually talk about why so many players, after trying both games, end up choosing Dota 2 and never looking back. So buckle up, because this is going to be a long one. A quick disclaimer. Before we get into it, let me be completely real with you. League of Legends is one of the most successful games in the history of gaming. Over 100 million registered players, one of the biggest esports scenes in the world, a massive content ecosystem. It is not a bad game. It is genuinely great at what it does. This video is an opinion, my opinion, backed by years of playing both games and watching both communities. League does several things better than Dota, and I'll tell you exactly what those are before this video ends. But when it comes to raw depth, strategic complexity, and that feeling of earning a win, in my view, and in the view of a lot of serious MOBA players, Dota 2 is on a different level. Let's get into why. Freedom and complexity. The first reason is freedom. In League of Legends, your champion does what your champion does. You have your abilities, you have a somewhat defined item path, and the game gently nudges you in the right direction. That's not a criticism, it's a design choice that makes the game more accessible. But in Dota 2, the game hands you a set of tools and says, figure it out. Think about items for a second. In Dota 2, almost any hero can buy almost any item. You want to put a Scythe of Vice that's basically a turn into a pig hex on your carry? Sure. You want to build an Aghanim's Scepter on a support to completely transform their ultimate ability? Go ahead. The item system isn't just about stats. It's about creating combinations that the other team didn't expect. And that's just items. The map itself is a mechanic. There are neutral creeps that drop random items. There are Roshan fights that completely change the game's tempo. There are two sets of runes that spawn at different times. There's Tormentor, a late game objective that rewards your supports. The map in Dota 2 isn't just where the game takes place, it's an active part of the strategy. Compare that to League, where the jungle is important, but the objectives are generally more predictable. Dragon, Baron, towers, clear, defined, easier to plan around. In Dota, a game can completely flip based on one decision about a neutral camp, one creep wave mismanaged under the wrong tower, or one hero picking up an item that nobody expected. That freedom is the foundation of everything that makes Dota special. The importance of skill. Now here's where people really start to argue. Dota 2 punishes mistakes harder than League of Legends, and I think that's a feature, not a bug. Let's talk about denies. In Dota, you can last hit your own creeps to deny gold and experience to the enemy. It sounds simple. It is not simple. High level lane matchups in Dota are a chess match. Every single creep is a decision. Do I last hit? Do I deny? Do I let the wave push? Do I trade aggression? League doesn't have this. Creeps always die to the enemy. That removes an entire dimension of decision making from the laning phase. Then there's buyback. When you die in Dota, you can spend gold to immediately respawn, but you lose half your gold that comes from your passive income. This one mechanic creates some of the most dramatic moments in MOBA history. A team loses a crucial team fight, looks finished, then four players buy back and defend a base that should have fallen. It's madness. It's incredible. League doesn't have it. There's also the teleport scroll, basically a TP, which every hero can carry and use to respond to threats anywhere on the map. Misuse it, and you're stuck in one lane when your team needs you. Use it at the right time, and you completely swing a fight across the map in seconds. Vision works differently too. Dota has true sight, flying vision, ground vision wards, block or reveal different things depending on terrain. A professional Dota player's ward placement is practically an art form. All of these mechanics stack on top of each other, and the result is a game where individual decisions matter enormously, and where being better than your opponent feels different. Hero design. Both games have great character design visually, but mechanically, Dota 2 heroes feel weirder, and I mean that in the best possible way. Take Invoker. This hero has 10 different active spells that you combine using 3 orbs in real time. No other hero in any MOBA does anything like this. It's basically a puzzle inside a game. High level Invoker players look like they're performing magic. Or take Meepo, a hero who controls 5 copies of himself simultaneously, all of which share the same health pool. If one dies, they all die. It's terrifying and brilliant at the same time. League champions are memorable, lovable, and well designed, but they mostly fit into archetypes: the tanky bruiser, the burst mage, the hyper carry. Dota heroes often break the archetypes entirely. Morphling can copy another hero's abilities mid-fight. Chen can convert enemy creeps into allies and use them as an army. Rubik can steal the last spell an enemy cast and immediately use it against them. These aren't just different playstyles, they're different games within the same game. Comeback potential. Here's something I genuinely love about Dota 2. A game is never over until it's over. High ground in Dota is a real fortress. Attacking uphill means your attacks have a chance to miss. Defenders get vision. The defending team gets more time to stall. A team that's been losing all game can hold their base against odds that should be impossible. I've seen teams lose almost everything, all their outer structures gone, ancient exposed, and still win because the other team got greedy at the wrong moment. Buybacks make this even more dramatic. You can lose a crucial fight, lose 2 heroes, buyback, and scramble to save the ancients in a desperate 30-second window. And sometimes you pull it off. In League, a strong enough lead tends to close games more reliably. That's not always a bad thing, it rewards good play. But in Dota, the comeback potential means every game has a story, and the late game in Dota can be genuinely wild in a way that League rarely matches. What League does better? Okay, fair is fair. League of Legends is faster. Average game length in League is around 30 minutes. Dota games regularly go 45 to 60 minutes, and sometimes longer. If you have limited time, League fits your schedule better. League is easier to learn. The mechanics are more contained. You don't have denies, buybacks, or 100 obscure item interactions to learn on day one. The onboarding is genuinely better. League has a more accessible esports product. Worlds is one of the biggest esports events on the planet. The production is polished, the broadcast is clean, Dota's The International is incredible, and the prize pool is unmatched. But the barrier to understanding what you're watching is higher, and League's player base is still significantly larger, which means shorter queue times and a bigger community almost everywhere in the world. These are real advantages. They matter. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Why I personally prefer Dota 2. For me, it comes down to this. I want a game where I feel like the reason I won. Not my character's kit. Not a stat advantage. Me. My decision to buy that item. My choice to teleport. My call on the buyback. Dota gives me that feeling more than any other game. When I win a Dota game, I feel like I earned it. And when I lose, which happens a lot, I usually know exactly what I did wrong. That feedback loop is addictive in a way I can't explain to someone who hasn't felt it. The memorable moments in Dota are unlike anything else in gaming. The desperate base defense, the last second buyback, the 5-man black hole. These aren't just highlights, they're stories you tell your friends. The final verdict. So here's the honest answer. Play Dota 2 if you want depth, complexity, and a game that rewards long-term mastery. You don't mind a steep learning curve. You want to feel like every game is a strategy match, not just a mechanics test. Play League of Legends if you want faster games, a bigger community, a smoother onboarding experience, and a more digestible esports scene. You want to get into the action quickly without learning 50 overlapping systems. Both games are worth playing, but if you ask me which one has more to offer the player who wants to go deep, Dota 2 wins. Every time. Alright, I want to hear from you. Are you a Dota player, a League player, someone who plays both? Drop it in the comments right now and tell me which mechanic you think is the biggest difference between the two games. I'm genuinely curious. If you liked the video, hit subscribe, more MOBA content is coming. And if you're a League player who's been curious about Dota, let me know. I might just make a beginner's guide next. See you in the next one.